What's going on, guys? LCG here, up on the next episode of Obduction. Alright, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I poked around a little bit, okay? It looks like we really only have one direction. This place, completely blocked off. I thought for sure we'd be able to go in, but we cannot, okay? This one right here leads to a one-way door, one that we probably have to unlock from the other side in there. And it might even be, I'm not sure, but because of this lock in Hunrath, that same type of lock exists right by that first water flow challenge. I'm sorry, the second water flow challenge by the propeller. That same lock is used. I think that's a lock, or maybe it's just the plating that they have on the door. Okay, so we may teleport into there from Hunrath. And the other thing is that right there is how we get in to the tree. The problem is we need to give it water, and we need to somehow activate it, which is our ultimate goal. That's our ultimate goal. But in the meantime, all we can do is go off into the lefterly direction, which is this one. And I have no idea what we're about to be in for, but this is wild. That's the end of the world right there. You fall off there, you're never coming back. Alright. This looks like an ambassador seed either implanted itself here, or I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But I'm starting to think, and I don't know, I might be thinking too much into this, but I'm starting to think these seeds, the insectoids, are actually, can we take that? Do something with it? No, but that's human. I'm starting to think that the insectoids are not indigenous to this particular world. I feel like whoever lived here before accidentally welcomed them in through a teleporter, and they have since taken over. But I don't have anything to really back that up. I just don't feel like the insects would live in this environment. They would likely live in the jungle, right? Oh my. What are we looking at here? Is that like a mother bug? Is that a fish? Are those things that I've been calling anchors and gondolas actually big fishing hooks? This is insane. You can see it looks like there's blood or water or something streaking all down the wall here. Or maybe, actually, that might be shadows from vines. I don't know, I can't tell, but this is something new. But you, I don't know. Yeah, so there's a lot of intricacies in this realm that don't lend itself credence to being a bug world, if you will. Namely, all the giant metal formations. I don't feel like bugs would be able to effectively sculpt or craft, whatever the term is, a chain. So there's that. But who did live here? That's the next question I have. What? So this thing just decided to scale the wall and attack that giant hook? We go down here. The answer is no. Looks like we're stepping through. Hang on tight. Okay. Alright. I'm trying to remember where we are because this place is very disorienting. And I'm kind of hoping that this is a one-time, one-way trip. Because I do not want to be wandering around in this world for any longer than I have to. Priorities go. Anything dealing with Hunrath, we reveal that first. And then any more exploration that we've got to do here, we do. And this has been pretty linear thus far. I have not had any detours that I can take or alternate. Well, just as I say that, I open my mouth and here we are. Let's hope this is a dead end. Okay, so this, by the nature of one, the way that orb is, and two, everything surrounding it, this goes to that grasslands. And while I'm highly interested in that, I'm going to keep going. Wait, did I just come up on this or down? I think I came up. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Remember, we're trying to get to the tree here. We want to get water and life back to the tree in this world. Oh no. Do we go up or down? Answer's down. We just have to remember we need to keep going up. Right there's the barrier, so let's try not to hit that. And is that another one? No. Okay. This does look like a human one. This goes to Hunrath. So, let us welcome the fireflies and hope that we can just teleport right back if we need to. And I don't even know where this one would take us because there's no other blocks that I can think of. Oh man. This looks like a trip down ye olde memory lane. This must be one of those places. Anything more we can do with that? This must be one of those places where they locked up all of the documents. $15,997 AH. Okay, this is worth reading, it seems. The Villain. I can't find the words. It's such a foreign life cycle, or perhaps not. They launch themselves across the expanses of space, preserved for eons, until at last their technological arcs can hone in and carry them to a new home. They have no connection with their predecessors, but in spite of this, perhaps because of this, they have amazing recollections of their history. Their stories are epic, reaching back through the eons. Unlike many of us who were abducted, they were abducted as a whole. Their scoop moved in an entire facility that was about to be annihilated. I have come to believe that they, perhaps more than any of us, have a deeper understanding of whatever this strange system is that we find ourselves in. 16333 after Hunrath. I need to write this down. We buried Ji Yun today. This place never really agreed with her. Kept to herself mostly, depressed and downcast. Anyway, I digress. I stayed after the brief words were spoken. I was the last to leave. I wandered to the dome, as I often do, and looked out at the undulating saurian weirdness beyond the cell wall. Movement caught my eye. Now, on very rare occasions, we've seen Mofang scrambling about in the distance. But there have been fewer and fewer sightings over the years. But before me was a tall, haggard Mofang running desperately, almost directly toward me, from one of the distant structures. It, I still can't tell the gender, got closer and closer. I thought it would see me and stop, or turn around, or be curious about this strange dome and our world inside it. But it continued running quickly, almost directly to my position. I was frozen in place with curiosity until my reflexes took over at the last moment and I leapt out of the way. But rather than hit the dome and fall backward or come through into Hunrath, the dome flashed its familiar tone and the Mofang vanished. I was stunned for a bit, but I retrieved my wits and stepped into the dome myself to quickly get to the other side. After getting through, I immediately turned around and saw the Mofang outside, on the other side of the dome, still running away from whatever it feared, but as if it had no sense of passing around the dome. As surprising as the event was, it did serve to settle a few things in my mind. I always wondered how no one on Earth noticed what had replaced this chunk of Arizona we have here. 16772. I've got to vent. Again, there are those who argue with me. Over and over, I demonstrate that in almost every case, whatever the process was that brought us here, it occurred at a pivotal moment. They tell their stories and they still can't admit that the abduction actually saved each of us, all of us. What is it in human nature that grasps so strongly to the past that we blame our saviors for stealing it from us? Okay, just one more vent before bed. If each of us was individually saved from something, then maybe all of us were corporately saved from something larger. Can we really be sure what's left? And this, the arrivers come from various places and times. Sarah got here almost 15 years ago from the year 2055, and Giselle got here 2.5 years ago from 1942. What does that mean? Time here is shuffled and chaotic compared to Earth. What state is Earth in right now? When is Earth right now? 16787. It's 3:15 a.m. and I feel compelled to journal this craziness. After spending most of yesterday meditating with the RI and then most of this evening discussing the nature of these worlds with CW, I had just a sip of infamous Hunrath hooch and collapsed in my chair. Well, I just awoke from a dream. I'm not one who puts a lot of credibility in dreams, but maybe the RI were able to move something in me to understand. Or possibly because of the intense discussion, my subconscious mind was triggered to be able to sort out some logical connections. Or maybe it was the hooch. The dream. I was tending a garden, an immense garden, and it wasn't for food or flowers, it was just about the health of the garden. I kept working and working to control it and contain it and make it healthier, but the garden seemed to fight me at every turn. And after what seemed like days of work, I finally gave up in frustration, and as I stood there, doing nothing, the garden flourished before my eyes, growing and spreading in every direction. Because, I realized, the system that the plants were based on was not about me shaping and controlling. The natural system of plants is healthier when they are out of control, when they are free to spread and intermingle and cross-pollinate and mutate. Now, from a human point of view, that may not provide what I want. I get smaller fruit and smaller flowers and untidiness. But from the point of view of the plants, they grow stronger and much more resilient and resistant. The more they are scattered, the higher their odds of surviving. And now that I contemplate, I realize that even the individual plant's seeds may not appreciate the benefit of what's happening. They are torn far from their origins, forced into situations that seem extreme, possibly even destroyed by these new environments. But for the seeds that survive, the seeds that survive, now that's where real growth, strength, and abundance comes from. It's so beautiful and terrifying. Beyond the beauty of it all is a system and structure that defies understanding. Okay, what if this is all a natural process? There are signs of something behind it all, but well-hidden signs. So, well, if I look at all of this, the cell, the tree, the water, the seeds, the hub, the health, even the abductions, well, there seems to be a grand system or plan. The plan doesn't take me into account. It is unemotionally intent on the health of something much bigger that may hurt my feelings, but, well, what am I in the entire scheme of the universe? I have no idea what, if anything, might have put this process into motion, but that is irrelevant. Tomorrow I will talk with CW. He could be swayed from his battery plan. 17145 AH. I really don't journal much. I came to write this down because I am distraught. As I contemplate the plan that I have set in motion, I realize that I have become the destroyer of worlds. I sat down to write, to seek some cathartic tranquilization, and I realized the last thing I journaled was some esoterically beautiful philosophy about letting this garden grow, not so reaffirming or calming. But nevertheless, here's my reasoning, because I must write this down. Simply, it's us or them. Complexly, if this is some kind of garden and we're the plants or seeds or whatever, well, some of us have gotten together and decided that we're the better choice to survive. If the others have unilaterally decided that we all won't survive, I am more fit, damn it. This is not me. I want to be calm and garden or ungarden or grow or... What gives one species the right to destroy another species? Who gets to choose? Do I just lay down and die because the more aggressive species thinks they're better, more powerful? What brutal scale do I use to measure the good of some against the life of others? Does love ever destroy? In order to help more survive, to help love itself to survive? Okay, that was deep. And intense. Whoop. Let's go ahead and spin this little guy. Yeah, that's definitely worth taking into account. Pretty much everything that he said, or she said. So I'm starting to feel... Sure, I'll take a picture of that, because we don't have anything more there. Adventures in the ages of Myst and beyond. Myst. Ooh. We can go ahead and put that down for now. That looks mighty explosive. There are things here, maybe not literally explosive, but it's electrical in nature. What do we have here? Awry Larval Notes by CF. Takes about 3 to 5 days for a single awry larva to change colors after being moved to a new surface. Pulsing stops immediately upon removal from captar, induced by polyarchs. Cloning has been extremely easy, like potatoes easy. Organics, plant fiber, yellow, bone, light yellow, awry encrustment, green. Metals, gold is gold, pink, copper, red and orange, titanium, orange, silver, red, aluminum, red and orange. Tech, Mofang Tech is magenta, Villain extrusions near white. Stone, granite. Okay. I'm curious about the effect of combining various base surface. Still a bit odd experimenting with the life forms. The light they emit is handy given our limited supply of diesel fuel. I think I already took a picture, but we'll take another one. And look at that, just sitting on gold, making gold bars. Okay, this was fantastic. It looks like we can interact with this, but I'm not. This might be how they discuss things with the RI. We'll look more into that. I don't know what this is. We'll take some pictures, and yeah, I'm getting ready to cut this episode, guys. I'm sorry. It's running a little long, but that storyline update seemed pretty important, if you ask me. And I'm curious about old CW's battery plan. Because I think we had hooked up his battery, but now I'm considering going back and unhooking it. Ooh, what is that? What's a number etched on his foot? We can't turn that. Do you have one as well? Doesn't look like it. What about you, little buddy? You have anything worth noting? Would not appear so. Okay, well, that looks like that's going to be it for this room. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This episode was a little humbling. We're going to revisit this here soon, but in the meantime, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to making some more episodes with you guys. This has been nothing short of a thrilling expedition. Ooh, we can go back that way. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode of Obduction. Everybody, stay happy, stay healthy. This is LCG, and I am signing out.